What is up, my lovely D.D.D fam? It is your boy Brendan, aka Drip from Team D.D.D, back with another video. And in today's video, we have a long-awaited Dracotail shaddoll canine.deck. It's been a very long time since I hinted this deck to come out, but I just didn't feel comfortable with my list to put it out there yet. But now I feel comfortable with this one. Obviously, this is technically in some fashion 1.0 or 2.0. There's some things I would change in the extra deck. Not really. There's nothing I would change as of right now in the main deck. The main deck feels fine. This is the weekend before Worlds and all that stuff, so it's still technically the off season. But from what I have played against, which is Yummy, Vanquish, K9, Crystron, stuff like that. Pretty competitive decks that we all foresee to be in the format moving forward. Even Rogue still, all the Fiendsmith stuff and Mitsurugi stuff still. I really like this list. Like I said, the side deck is probably 99.9% done, and then the extra deck is 90% done. But the main deck is, for right now, 100. I've had a lot of success with this list, and there's some things that a lot of people are going to like, but there's some things a lot of people are not going to like, but this is just what fits my playstyle. I'm not running a very high shaddoll count, and I actually only run Linda in the extra. I'm a shaddoll player from base level shaddoll player. I came from shaddolls, so if I'm trimming it down that much, there's a reason. I'm not running shaddoll fusion because that card just takes up utility in the side deck. Yes, if it resolves, it's a blowout card, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. So I was originally on Shikanaga, Apcolone, and Winda, but I just oversimplified it. And we'll talk more about that when we get there. I just wanted to get the hurt feelings out of the way early. Dracotail engine's all standard. It's just pretty standard what you're used to seeing everybody else run. 3 Lachias, 3 Femina, 3 Malulu, and only one of each. Only Pure needs extra copies of these. Yes, I get it. You need to see names. That is very true. If you live and die by the names, but these are all recyclable. If you're running Pure, then you can get away with the second or third Urgula. I've never found myself needing it. I just search it if I need to. One thing I will say is early on, one reason why I'm not running Pure is, well, Pure in the form of the King of the Swamp version. Pure with just a bunch of names and hand traps is probably the best way to go. I don't really like the King of the Swamp package or the whatchamacallit, the Edge Imp Chain package. Reason being is because those cards are dead cards in your hand, and a lot of people are just playing those cards to turbo out Dragoon or to have another way to fuse. And I feel like if you're reliant on Poly just to get you into your plays, you're playing from so far from behind that it's going to take a miracle for you to even come back and win in that game anyway. So at that point, I would just rather run another supplementary engine or non-engine to help push. Excuse me. It's early in the morning when I'm recording this. I just took the kiddos to school. Apologize. But yeah, this is going to be an in-depth video to where I talk about all my discussions. It's another reason why it was so long for me to release this profile, because I had to go through all of my stuff, all of my reasonings of cut and stuff like that. 3 Ketu, it's a board breaker, it's a Rhoda. 3 Rahu, it's a great value branded fusion. And then 1 of each trap. It'll be really nice when we get access to the 3rd trap, because then we can, instead of potentially setting follow-up, we can set 3 interruptions, which is really, really good. Shout outs to the sexy Euro print. Euro print's the best print. Only thing would be better is if they were German. German is my favorite foreign copy. Moving forward to the K9 package, I run pretty much the full K9 package, and I'll explain why here in a minute. 3 Azuna, 3 of the best girl, Jokel. This card being a super rare over a higher rarity is diabolical. 1 Lupus, 1 Lantern, 1 Case. These cards are absolutely insane. If you look close enough, they say Fiendsmith Azuna, Fiendsmith Jokel, Fiendsmith Lupus, Fiendsmith Lantern, and Fiendsmith case for Fiendsmith. The reason being is these cards bait so much interaction to where all of these are just freaking free. All these just resolve. And ability to play turn 0 is the most important aspect of Yu-Gi-Oh! Moving forward. I really feel like potentially, granted, it is the new thing, so it's like hard to see too far into the future. But it feels like in some fashion, Konami is like, instead of trying to make the game easier to go second, they're making it easier to play turn 0, to where like it's more interaction. Which, in my opinion, as long as they make stuff generic and then if they can make things affordable for everybody else, I don't see a problem in that. The reason being is because it makes it more less die roll based, which is what the game has felt like for years now. But no, anyways, back to this engine. Jokel is absolutely insane. Azuna is absolutely insane. All these cards are insane. Yes, we get that. But these cards that they resolve, they make your board so oppressive that's one thing that Dracotail has lacked, is oppressiveness. Our board is very simple. It's very simplistic. We just end on 2 traps and then an interaction if they don't chain something to our trap or a Femina. So like if you don't draw the Femina or whatever, you can't get it back in rotation, then your 2 traps and your 1 Gulamel is just like mid. Definitely if your pair don't have hand traps too. But the ability to end on like 3 XZs plus your 2 traps, your Gulamel, and your Femina is insanity. On top of that, all the people are still on a bunch of hand traps. These cards baiting hand traps is absolutely insane. This engine just eats hand traps. And it can play through a bunch of hand traps too. That's why I said it's just like the Fiendsmith engine. It just feels like the 2025-2026 version of Fiendsmith. It really does. But Jokel is my favorite girl. She's my best girl. But yeah, so like this card is insane. It feels like if it resolves, it feels like a +2, +3 sometimes. Because you get a name, and then if they hand trap you from there, like the name is typically Azuna to play around Droll. So if you summon this and like a beast or a Femina, you can go this, search Azuna on res, they draw you this, summon, send Lupus, and you go +2 off of their draw when they go technically neg 1. So it's really, really good. This deck inherently doesn't really care about Droll. The only time Droll ever really hurts us is if we open Lachias and Ketu. Other than that, that's the only time Droll really kind of hurts us, but even then we can somewhat play around it. But yes, this engine is insane. The attack buff comes up from time to time too, from the case to help attack over stuff or protect your stuff from being attacked over. But then shaddolls is literally just 4. Some people play less. I play 4. The reason why I play these are 5s, so obviously it gives us 3 Femina, 3 Beast, plus the other canine names to potentially have extra 5s for when we have Jokel in hand. And this is just if you look hard enough, it's actually a 4th copy of Shaddoll Beast. So that's why we run it. And I want to maximize like the ability to potentially make Winda too on turn 0. So 4 copies of Shaddolls is really nice. I don't play Squam because like I feel like if I'm not playing Dragon, or if I'm not playing Windy or something like that, then there's no real point of playing Squam, because it feels like you're playing harder into hand traps. That's just unnecessary. It's like you're getting to Beast just with extra steps. Like, I mean, in some perfect world, like, yeah, playing Squam to send Hedgehog to add Beast is like in some fashion refilling the hand. But I feel like it's just refilling the hand with extra steps. Because if you draw Beast, but you're not going to use it for an XZ summon you fuse with it, it's drawing a card anyways. And if you run a high monster count, which we do in this deck anyways, because this deck relies on monsters, then you're going to probably mathematically draw a monster anyways. But yeah, all these are return value, return investment, because they replace themselves in some fashion without doing extra steps. I never missed any of the others. I practiced with a bigger doll count. I tried with the other doll names, but this is the one that I landed on, and I have the most success with. 3 Fuwa. This is the playing turn 0. Makes people play awkwardly unless you're me. I just don't give two shits about it, rat's ass about it, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to play into it because I know if I make my board, you're just going to keep drawing continue like the same cards that you potentially already have. So you're going to draw doubles, and a lot of it's hard ones for turns, anyways. So you keep drawing doubles, you just have dead cards in your hand. I don't give a crap about follow up. You're not cracking my board, anyways. 3 Ash. This is for this, and it's also for Azuna. This card is this is probably the best format where this card is actually traded the best 1-for-1 in a long time. And then I'm on 2 Perulia. There's a world where you can argue to run 3 Perulia. I just didn't want to run 41, and I've had a lot of success from me and my luck to running 5 Charmies instead of 6. But this is, I think, the best hand trap lineup. Before, when I wasn't on the canine stuff, like the full canine package, I was just on 3 Azuna, 1 Lupus. I was running 2 Bell, 2 Ogre, and 1 Imperm or whatever, which was decent. But like, I feel like a lot of the decks right now have so much gas, they just push through that one interruption, as to where like those interruptions weren't as impactful as the canine full canine engine was itself. Like I feel like the ability to push through a board was better than the 1-for-1 or what felt like a neg one sometimes trade off. Um, because I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I felt like the engine was just better to push through than trying to slow them down with hand traps. But that's just me, and that's what I've shown like results with personally. Clean 40, nothing I'd change in the main. The extra deck is where it gets a little awkward. Put Goku over here. Crawl Sheep. I run the Crawl Sheep package instead of the Hermetic Seal package because since we run such a high XZ count, I feel like the Hermetic Seal package in some fashion feels like a little bit win more. On top of that, now that we run a full XZ package in this build, it feels like you are making XZ so much that you don't have the necessary resources to actually make the Hermetic Seal. You have to go far out of your way, and this actually helps. This, excuse me, that's my chair. This comes up a lot more in the form of follow-up, because like if you find yourself in a situation to where you're just sitting on fusions and you're running low on monster count, you just link one of your fusions off in another name, whether it's an XZ or something, into this, and then you can fuse off or link off something else, 2 more into like SP, and then trigger the first fusion engrave to summon itself, and then trigger this to summon back the Lachias. Lachias will search something that you need, like a Femina, and then you're right back into the game. So this card gets you back into the game, which is necessary. That's why like I'll always try to keep a Lachias in the graveyard. If I can't get a Pan in the graveyard to be able to summon my Lachias back, I will summon the Lachias back this way to be able to get stuff back in rotation and keep refilling my hand if I'm running low on monsters. And I prioritize recovery over win more interruptions, because I feel like if we end on three XZs, or the ability to make 3 XZs plus 2 traps and a Gulamel with Femina in hand, is just, I feel like that should be more than enough. Then I run on 3 Arthalion, whatever you want to call him. I'm on 3 of him, 1 Gula. I was on 2, but it took me a minute to get accustomed to 1 because I really liked 2. But to be able to fit all of the XZ stuff that I wanted to be able to run, I needed to cut a card, and 1 Gulamel was the only one that I felt comfortable with cutting. 1 Secretarion for the mirror. Comes up sometimes too against like Blue Eyes randomly, and White Forest, because those decks are still running around. And then last fusion is Winda. She has Win in the name. You win with her. XZs, 1 Ripper, 1 Valon, 1 Nash. I find myself sometimes missing a second Ripper, but like in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to waste an extra slot for it because I can just shuffle it back with Arthalion. But yeah, I really wanted to run Nash because I feel like stealing something is just so impactful, more so than booking it. But I typically, like, if XZs, I'll end on these 2, and then I'll make this on my opponent's turn to clean them up with like Lupus and Azuna that I searched with combo for follow up. or if I have enough gas, I'll just end on all three. Um, this part I would never change. Then I'm running Big Nash, um, just because I can make the number monster. And since I'm a Galaxy House player, I'm running this. This is like so unnecessary. You don't need this. The only reason why I run it is if I'm playing against Lunalight and I'm baiting their shit out, I just hold my canine cards to then make Nash, then make this, and then make this to attack over their tower, at least one of their towers. That's about it. Because other than that, I don't have nothing big enough to get over their tower. And my locals has Lunalight running around, so. And I'm not paying the money for Umbral because I know the second I do, it's going to get a reprint announcement, like an OTS or some crap. But this is you don't need this. Like these two cards, you don't necessarily need. You can swap out for whatever other number monster you can use for Nash Knight, or whatever else you want. This part's just unnecessary. Just make sure you have the proper ability to use Nash Knight. One Typhon and one Zeus. I really like Zeus. A lot of people has cut Zeus. The reason why I like Zeus is because Zeus helps you in the matchups with your worst matchups in the form of Vanquished Soul and stuff like that. The reason being is because you can make Nash Knight, of course, after they go like uh, they summon their whatchamacallit, what the hell's his name? Their main Rhoda guy, whatever. They normal summon their main Rhoda guy, make sure they can't summon into like another column. And then you summon this on their turn, steal a guy, and then on your turn you summon this, and hopefully they don't have rock, and you can just attack over something, or attack into something defense position, or attack into something that's little, and then you make Zeus, and he'll have 4 materials on it because of something you took. And if they try to use Raisin, that's what I was thinking of. If they try to use Raisin or something, you can just chain, and if they try to chain something, you just chain something again, and it completely nukes their board. And the ability to nuke the Vanguard Soul board means you're already simplifying the game state because they lose out on attributes and board presence. So the fact that you lose out on both without committing to the board with your hand, besides what you committed to on their board on their turn, you forced out, at least forced out all the interactions for them to out the Zeus or stop the Zeus, to where only thing you potentially have to deal with is the Snow Devil or whatever, the Dust Devil or whatever, the that trap card. That's all you have to deal with, which is not that big of an issue. Um, if you can just go Dracotail combo first before you go the rest of your canine line, so they don't nuke your canine cards. But that I've really had a lot of success in with the Zeus. Other than that, the Zeus doesn't really come up besides in like the Vanquish or stuff like that. I mainly only utilize it for the Vanquish line, but I'd rather have it than not have. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. This extra deck still needs work and will still get worked on. But that's what I got for now. Side deck, it's a tournament side deck. I feel comfortable with this side deck. I was really worried about my side because my side used to be buns, but I got a lot better. 3 Pank, it's a 2-for-1. It's the goat. He's the boy. 3 Dark Ruler. It just clears up everything and turns everything off. I hate Yummy. I really do. Herald of Arclight, a crutch. It just feels like Prank Kids slash Drytron in the form of relying on just one single card. Um, um, but yeah, 3 evenly because it's the best card into Vanquish. It's the best card into the Mirror. It's the best card into Rogue. It's the best card in almost everything because they don't have Ace Size Yummy because they're the only ones that has a negate that can stop it. But if you pair that with this, then you're Gucci. And then I'm on 3 Book of Eclipse. This card has so much dual utility. Going first, going second. It's insane. Being able to, at one point, I paired it with Evenly. And my buddy, he ended on like full canine board with SP and the one of his fusions. He was playing whatchamacallit, I'll think of it in a minute. But anyways, I booked all of his stuff besides the SP. Then I just evenly did him, and he couldn't use his SPs because it has to target face ups. Um, Memento is what he was playing. He had the Memento fusion, but this also is really nice too because if they try to imperm your Athalion, you just go book of Eclipse and book the stuff, and even if they ash it, then that's one extra hand trap or interruption out of the way, which is really nice. I couldn't tell you how many times this has actually saved my Athalion from make sure it's resolving. It's insane. This card's really good, really really good. And then the last three is for the mirror match. It's for the rogue, like Mitsurugi, and it's mainly for Yummy, and that is Retaliating C. This card is insane. Like, definitely in the mirror, you provide in the mirror. If you're going second, you stop them from basically having any interaction on your turn besides 5 mana, and that forces them to hold it. And you can just summon your Arthalion and bounce this back to hand. Yes, you lost out on like 2 cards or whatever, but and then you rest your combo resolve, and then you have it in hand again to summon again on their turn. It's so freaking good and such a blowout. This card's really good. I think this one. That's why I said the side deck. I feel really, really confident about. Like I'll be shocked if I change anything, but every time I say that, I end up changing something. But right now, overall, I feel very comfortable with it. But yeah, guys, that's my list. I think I got like second or whatever at the box tournament with this, and I've had a lot of success online with this list. The only thing I said I'll probably change a little bit moving forward is reworking the extra deck a little bit. But that will come in time with reprints and money and stuff. So, oh boy. Other than that, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Sorry I went on like a 2-week hiatus. Um, I just, you know me, I don't like pumping out content unless I feel comfortable to show you guys. I don't want to put out half-ass content. I like putting out content that you guys can have success with and have confidence in. But other than that, I love you all so, so much. And if you made it this far, then I love you even more. It's your boy, Brennan A.K. Drip from Team D.D.D. Sign out till next time. Peace. Good doing, my guys. Love you.